and welcome. This is Erin Swenlin on Your Daily 5. And I have 5 of the charts that I am going to be watching this week. And I'm hoping to enlighten you on some very interesting, well, I think there's some interesting stuff going on here under the surface. Let's start off with the SPY 1-year daily chart. Of course, this chart I cover every day in the Decision Point alert, which you can find on our website at decisionpoint.com. So let's start off. And of course, price action, we're up again. This is being recorded on Monday morning. So you can see that right now we've got a pretty nice move going on. We're up a little bit over a third of a percent. One of the things I'm going to point out is, of course, all of our different indicators. And I'm going to look in this thumbnail because, as you can see, things are a little bit flat here, starting to be difficult to see what's going on with our price momentum oscillator, the PMO. So you can see we went on a buy signal, and we are still heading upward. Momentum has obviously slowed down quite a bit, but we are still rising. One of the things I just wanted to note, we can't see what's going on with this PMO too well, mainly because it has been very flat. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's actually an overbought reading. And we're staying very flat. And that's really because during this period of time, acceleration has been next to nothing. And momentum, the PMO measures the amount of acceleration going on. So if there's not a lot of acceleration in your trend, your PMO or your PPO will start to flatten out. Some of the good news I'm looking at on this chart is obviously the OBV volume is going in the right direction, currently supporting this rally. We did see a little bit here in that thumbnail, though. You can see a little bit of a declining top, but honestly, that matches up with the declining top we had here, so I don't see anything too dangerous. And then I have to say, we watch the VIX very closely at Decision Point. We like to invert our VIX, mainly so that we can look at overbought readings being at the top, basically when the VIX is very low, and then we have those higher readings on the bottom. And the reason we do this is we look at the VIX, as many do, as a sentiment indicator. And when people are feeling complacent, low numbers, comfortable, bullish, if you will, that tends to lead to a reversal because sentiment is contrarian. And if everybody's really nervous and things are getting scary to them, then that becomes an oversold reading, right? And so now you can see that it comes out of that oversold, and that's where you start looking for these moves to the upside. One of the things that are also important to look at with the VIX is where it is in relation to its moving average within the Bollinger Bands. When it is above that moving average, that tells you that the market is still in good shape, that people in the market aren't too worried, but they're also not too complacent, as you can see right here. So the VIX is telling me that, as long as we're continuing these higher prices, it looks pretty good, and everybody's feeling good about the market right now, but not too good, if you will. So we've seen that the volume has been trailing off. Likely options expiration was coming up. I think we had a couple of other, the weekend, of course. Things like that have been causing a depression a little bit in the volume, but I haven't seen that as a big problem, mainly because, like I said, I watched this OBV, and when you tally it up, it really isn't telling me that there's anything to be concerned about. All right, so let's look at the Swenlin trading oscillators. Are they telling us that there's something to be concerned about? I would have to say yes. A couple of problems right now. These Swenlin trading oscillators are short-term indicators, and they are updated at the end of the day. So these numbers are as of Friday, August 14th. And that's fine because it still is telling me the information I need to know going into this week. And that is that we still are dealing with some negative divergences. And not only that, we can see that the Swenlin trading oscillators are on the decline out of overbought territory. So this is not a good sign for the short term. Other problems, there's that negative divergence I was just relaying to you. And you can see that those tops are going down, declining, and you can see the price, though, is pretty much ignoring that. And typically, when you start seeing these kinds of negative divergences, that is going to lead you into a decline, typically. So those are the things we're looking for. And I don't like to be a sky is falling kind of person. But when we're in a rally, I have to start looking for things that are a problem. When we're in a big decline, I need to start looking for things that are looking good. So for example, you can see we had a really nice positive divergence there. But let's go ahead and move on. I want to talk about gold. Gold is having a very nice rally today, as are the gold miners. So I really wanted to concentrate on that area of the market. I think that's going to be the exciting part of the market coming up. And I did find my diamond of the week for you right there in that area. So let's start with the gold chart. And this is as of Friday because this is the continuous contract. But I do happen to know that GLD is up. Oh gosh, I think it was up over a 1% already today, if not more. And you can see there was that big correction in gold. And I never really figured out, Carl and I never really figured out what the real reason was for such a deep decline. But reasoning goes that, of course, when you have a near vertical kind of a rally here, that you're not going to be able to sustain that. You just aren't. So then the question is, well, when is it going to break down and how is it going to break down? Well, you know, we expected a breakdown, and this is the 2011 top. So when we corrected and then followed through further below that 2011 top, that was a big concern. But I was also watching that 50-day EMA. I was also watching this rising bottoms trend line. And so to me, if we could get that support in here, which amazingly we did, exactly where we needed to see it, if we could get that support, then more than likely we were going to see that return rally and a nice move to the upside. You can see we got past that top again, did have that pullback on Friday, but as I said, right now it's looking pretty good. Now everybody's probably saying, well, wait a minute, why do you like gold? It's got a PMO sell signal. Yes, yes, it does. But we are starting to see that move back up. The PMO did come out of very overbought territory. It's in a position where I think it could turn back up. Right now, I think we might be getting ahead of that PMO and seeing that momentum early. Well, let's go back right here. The other thing that we've been watching, Carl and I at DecisionPoint, is we track sentiment for gold. And the way we do that is we look at the premiums and discounts for gold to the physical gold trust. I am having lots of fun here. Okay, excuse me. So when you're looking at that premium discount, again, this is sentiment and it is contrarian, right? So when we have these negative readings or discounts, that tells you that sentiment is still bearish. And when sentiment is bearish, that's when you usually are going to start seeing those moves to the upside. And you can see a few cases here where sentiment got very, very bearish. And then we started to get that move to the upside out of that. You can see it back here as well. So it looks like we're trying to peak here. Could have a little bit longer to go. But these discounts also show us that the investors within the market they haven't really discovered this. And I think that this week, after this big correction, that this is going to be a good week for gold. Gold miners, and this is a recipient of when gold is doing well and the market's doing well. Gold miners have really been on a nice run. They corrected as well with gold with a big gap down, formed this little island, and have now come back up, covered that gap, if you will. The one problem we're waiting for, of course, is this rising bottoms trend line, and we are coming right up against it. But again, gold miners came down to that 50, tested it, came right on back out. PMO is looking a little bit better than gold itself. You can see that it is trying to turn up right there. You can see we had this negative divergence coming in on that OBV right before the big decline, so that was giving us a hint. We had very overbought readings on all of these indicators, and one nice thing about a big correction is it does take them out of that overbought territory, overbought readings. So right now I do like gold miners. So I decided to go and look for my diamond of the week. And I decided to go, honestly, one of my favorites is Newmont Mining. It's having a fabulous day, and I do think that chart looks pretty good. But I wanted to take a little bit more advantage of the price of silver. Silver has also been going up. And so I thought I would look at Wheaton Precious Metals. And I think that it's in a really nice place to give this one a shot. Like I said, we haven't seen that PMO turning up just yet, but you can see the deceleration. Looks like it's ready to do so. We also had an island. I'll direct you to this thumbnail. We also had an island on Wheaton Precious Metals. It's covered its gap. It's heading up. It's up over 3% currently. I like that I could set a decent stop on this one right around that 50-day EMA and at that low that we had last week. So you can go in a little bit more protected. If you wanted to have a deeper stop at 47.50, certainly you could do that. That's the next area of very strong support. And so I'm liking this, and even to the upside, even if we could just get up to price as it was 2 weeks ago, that would be an 11% gain. And you can see RSI is moving positive. So a lot of good things happening, I think, for Wheaton Precious Metals. And like I said, a little on the side, Newmont Mining, I like that one as well. And that is about it. I just wanted to direct everybody, if you like what I'm doing here on your Daily 5, go to DecisionPoint.com, subscribe to our bundle, and use that code DP trial, and you will get your first week, a trial week for free, and then you can decide if you want to continue with us or not. But great way to get to know us better. And with that, I want to thank you for watching your Daily 5 with Erin Swenlin.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're gonna bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.